The more role models you have of people from minority backgrounds, it will encourage other people from those minority backgrounds to step in and start taking part. You simply just need a more diverse range of people in leadership roles.
In a small harbour port called Oostende.
Is it looped? Is this a looped?
Looped.
Yeah. Let's propose a melody. And this sign means long note. First step, who, you, what? Long note. When? Yeah. Harmonize or unisono or you choose. Yeah, you do. Yes. Loop it.
Again? No, so I think this program started really as a sharing songs program, but we had multiple sessions that we came together, and in the earlier ones it was really also about exchange of ways of working and inviting many external music professionals. So we really have a kaleidoscopic input of all different ways of working that's really very enriching.
Cool. Magical synchronization. It has something magical because there's something in it. And of course, first thing like, that's for children. Let's see if it's really for children. Starting point is something that we all do together. So I never let somebody play on a boommaker and then right away a drum kit next to it or something. The goal is that you use music as a tool to reach something else, and the result can be some like a side result that people play together and that there's a music composed and everything. But this is the most important question in the world. How are you?
And this is what I find where I find actually the passion in working with groups. Because you can plan your actions, but you can never plan your reactions.
To make music with people without knowing how people are, checking in with the energy, doesn't make sense for me.
To create anything with a bunch that are mostly alien to each other, it's super important to create a safe space, to create common ground. So with a daily check-in, daily warm-up, you sort of loosen up, open up, you do some crazy stuff.
First person goes, have a suggestion, for example, I am a tree, you give it a little bit of life, then you freeze. Somebody else say?
Yes, and I am a bird.
Yes, and I am the proof of the bird.
The first person, which is the tree, chooses what element stays. I choose that the poop stays. Tree and bird start out. Whatever the element, please start over from the center.
And then they need to be boxed in.
I am the government. Run the census. I am a small child that the cat is attacking.
Yes, I'm the chair or the sofa where the patients.
Everyone here is really respectful to each other, and everyone wants to learn. Like, you can see that everyone here really is interested about learning about different cultures, learning about different kinds of music from all around the world. So just having that mutual respect for each other creates an inclusive space as well.
It's really interesting to learn how to make a musical setting with a very diverse group of people as inclusive as possible, and how can you challenge people in an enjoyable way to be like a really free performer.
Straatstory, daar leert in peace moesten stoppen doet pijn.
This is gonna be for body percussion, this is gonna be for voice, this is gonna be for movement, and this is gonna be out of the box. What is out of the box?
What is so unique about this project is actually just making space for people, for musicians to get to know each other, to come out of their comfort zone, to dive into a whole new context where you have the ability to really become part of it.
What happened that it sounded nice? What happened when we lost interest, you know? How could we save it again when it was kind of dying, you know? So, and there was no leader. We were leading it together.
Orchestre Partout is an organization that makes music in refugee centers in the Netherlands. So where people bring a song in their own language and we try to play that.
Seriously, we always have coffee and tea at our rehearsal because it should be an inviting environment. So even if you don't play music, you just come in and have a coffee and you have a chat and maybe somebody starts playing and you listen and maybe your foot starts stepping and the next time you start clapping.
Start with a rhythm, melody comes in, we play it twice, then we go into singing.
Lokada Karaji,
Lokada Karaji,
Marati Nanti,
Marati Nanti.
We sing the A part twice, we sing the B part, we go back into singing the A part twice, then we come back in with the melody, with the instrumental melody. So the way we work at Flotsam Sessions is that we bring together people. We get the participants to share the material, so to pick a song that's close to them, maybe a song from their home country, from their culture, that then we help them to teach to the group. So you're all gonna learn the main melody now. Di-yum, di-da, de-ya, di-da. We always start with singing together because we think that's a very accessible starting point for people. We are ready to learn the second voice. Should we start with the lower or the higher? Higher. Higher, okay. And it's also very much about the stories that comes with the songs, about the context around it. So the person who teaches the song gets a real chance to really introduce themselves, but through a song, through a folk song.
This is an old song from Iran before the revolution, and the singer was named Gugush. And the story of this lady is fascinating by itself because after the revolution she got stuck in the country and she could not perform for more than 20 years. So because they didn't have any new songs really produced, this is, I think, one of the songs that everybody in Iran, when they wanted to learn music, they would hear and sing with it. You can repeat after me. To اگه باشی آسمون صافه تو اگه باشی
For me, it's kind of dancing. It's also a dance where you have the sun in the center and the planets around the sun. That's the reason why women use candles in the and the pollera, this is the skirt, and does different movements with the skirt and the candles, while the men goes around with a hat. But in this cumbia, because it's from the Pacific, they use different instruments aside from the drums. There is an instrument called marimba.
And once the whole group has learned the song, then there's a shared ownership, and then we arrange it so that it fits for the group that we have.
Yeah, go ahead, one more time.
So there's something really special about being able to see, actually, wow, the world is full of music and lots of it's quite different. You know, we talk about it as a universal language, and it is, but it's like there's a lot of different facets to that. And so if you take time to really listen, you learn so much about a person through the song that they bring.
I really didn't expect that the Eastern music can be really welcome like this in Western world.
But you know, sitting with the musicians who play Arabic music and just trying to understand the scales and making the connections with the Hindustani classical scales as well. Like, so much learning has happened for me musically in that sense that it's been incredible. So I'm definitely taking some musical learnings with me.
You know, it's like you are adding just complete beat. It's like pum 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 2, 3, 4. العين موليتين Imagine if somebody take a cube of ice and put it in your bag. So what's your reaction?
It's an Arabic thing. Our reaction would be or think of a snake.
Dunya means life. أجيبلها ما بيها دنيا ما بيها بس همها دنيا ودنيا نهيب الأصابر دنيا.
And you know, when you spend so long working kind of on your own, to have that opportunity to be in amongst peers is just it's invaluable.
Yeah, it gives you perspective and a lot of appreciation, I think, of the work that we do, and just reassurance of how important it is.
kleinVerhaal is a social artistic organization. We make short films and music. We tell a story about the neighborhoods here in Oostende and the idea to share together art and music, and there's no borders, there's no one way to do things. If you can hear each instrument, so it's good, it means you are good. If you can't, so it means you are too loud. What we do always, we stretch from the beginning. We let the door open to receive all the inputs, all the possibilities, or everything, all the informations from the participants. And me as a coach, I mean, I should understand what's happening.
It's really this balance between structure and no structure. It's about feeling the group. That's why we often in this project did a circle in the morning.
Sometimes with improvisations or improvisation session, the group gets stuck somewhere. But from this case, you can create many different sounds, and it's just the way how you receive it.
Muziekmozaïek is an organization based in Ghent and Gooik in Belgium. We allow people to discover and play and learn folk and jazz in a lot of different ways. We have magazines, we create stage opportunities, and also facilitate non-formal learning opportunities.
Like there are no wrong notes, so like go for it. Otherwise you won't discover kind of what you could do. But then if you're trying to create something together, that's a little bit more like we are doing now. Definitely everyone's like doing something together. I think it's super important to have some sort of like listening background, and then listen like when is it going to be everyone's sort of turn for a little solo. And it's always easier to build those like experimental bit more like free things over a bit of a more solid, like there's like something going on and you can sort of trust. And like practicing, like when is it my turn? Is it now, or is it now my turn to be quiet? 1, 2, 3.
No, you will add a bit of salt, and then okay, it's enough salt. Let's change. Let's put another spices. It's exactly the same. I like food, so because of that. So yeah, but
in this program, we also run workshops. In these workshops, we introduce different techniques. One of them is Kobrani. And Kobrani is a technique for conducted, improvised music. So it's a way of improvisation, but we only use hand gestures to give prompts.
We have the start and the stop. Important with the stop is that you make fists. Because that's where it gets too similar with the long tone. Yeah?
And we can bring kind of musical ideas or give musical ideas to the musicians there as a suggestion, as an invitation. And the person in the middle is not really a conductor in this technique as much as a processor. So the ideas doesn't come from the person in the middle, it all comes from the musicians in the room.
This one, the T for time, which is rhythm. Yeah. And we have the contained melody, the wave in the box. Then we also have the melody, which is a longer phrase. So this is order, and then you can a bit more chaotically use each other and you bring it back. And as you might have noticed, right before bringing it back, it's nice to do. So most open sign we have is just about whatever your ideas right now, please play.
If you go to the totally free improvisation, then it means like conversation between the musicians. You improvise and it depends about the moment itself. You play, and sometimes the wind brings you somewhere else, and you should deal with this wind.
It has rained here every day this summer in Oostende. I cannot remember the last time I saw the sun. No matter. I mean, where would we be without water? Now, water comes in many different forms, beautiful and each with their own unique purpose. Take, for example, the humble stream. Trickling deep within.
Mostly you should you let everything open from the beginning. You let them breathe. You give them time. I mean, music is language, and language needs time.
And of course, it's also about a concert and having the feeling that it counts. You know, you have to validate also the music, and working together to a concert really contributes to that.
There's also a lot to be said about leadership where you're part of the group, right? And the beautiful thing about that kind of leadership is once it's embedded enough, you really get that culture of listening to the group and sitting with the participants, then it starts to happen organically and it starts to happen naturally. But I think we really don't value the sensitivity to people.
It felt like we were in our own safe bubble, and I wish the bubble didn't have to pop.
So I think we set something in motion. We gave it a really hard push, and then it runs by itself. Let's say.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. We are crossing borders. This is a very, very special show. We're lots of different organisations from, lots of people from all over the world, from organisations from the UK, from the Netherlands, and from Belgium. And we've come to Oostende this week, arriving on Monday, starting work on Tuesday to build this set. This is a really special set. It didn't exist at the beginning of this week, so you're very privileged to see a unique performance that will never be performed again.